Hello guys, I just want to greet you. I believe and hope that you are all happy to be also part of this family. Okay, what you're going to do now is to look at the question on the screen, which is reading x plus 4 all over x squared minus 3x minus x minus 1 all over 9 minus x squared. I hope guys by the end of this lesson you'll be able to understand the tricks and all the angles of dealing with algebraic fractions in terms of addition and subtraction. All right, so I don't want to waste your time guys. What I'm going to do is to jump into the question. Make sure that you are prepared and also ready to do listen. Every stage that I'm going to give you guys is very important. By the end of the lesson, I'll try and sum up all the necessary things that you need to know and understand when you're dealing with algebraic fractions. Let's get started. All right. Okay, so the first stage guys that we're going to be dealing with is to rewrite the question, but making sure that it has got everything in simplest factor form. Okay, so meaning to say, make sure that every part of the question is well factorized. That's the first thing. Okay, so what I've done is I've written it here by the other part of the screen so that we will understand. We are trying to factorize everything. So let us look at the question. The first part, which is x plus 4, cannot be factorized, so we write it as it is, x plus 4. And then each denominator can be factorized. It gives us x into x minus 3. Okay, this is factorization by ACF. If you don't know about factorization, I think I'm going to share also some videos based on factorization. Then the top part of the second segment is reading x minus 1. We cannot factorize it, so we write it as x minus 1. And then after that, 9 minus x squared can be written as 3 minus x and 3 plus x. Okay, now this part is done. If you have got questions with this part, I advise you guys before approaching algebraic fractions to go and do a topic called factorization so that you can know all the 4 or 5 types of factorization that we have. Then you approach this one. But if you have done factorization thoroughly, I believe and trust that this question has been done simply. Now the second stage after having done this is very simple. It is to combine all segments of the fraction into one. Let us do that. We need to combine all the segments. How do we do that? This means we need a combined numerator and a combined denominator. So what we need to do now is to have the LCD first. Okay, so to simplify it, I also said combine the fraction. So when you're combining it, you need a new numerator now and the lowest common denominator. Now, how do we find the lowest common denominator is the first part of this fraction. Okay, so the denominator that we are going to have here is very simple. Okay, you put a long line here to show the difference between the denominator and the numerator. So for the common denominator, there is some things that I want you now to listen about. How do we find the common denominator? You must look at the factors and see if there is a common factor that you are seeing here. Make sure you bring that down first. Likewise, in this question, let me highlight that this part and this part is common. So what we need to do is to make sure that we bring that down first, and is x minus 3. That's the common part. Though here it is written in the form of 3 minus x, I'll tell you why did I say 3 minus x and x minus 3 is the same as time goes by. So make sure that you are listening carefully to every stage. Okay, then after bringing down what is common, look, there is something remaining. So let us now take what is remaining and put it down also. So we have got this one and this one are the remaining parts. We need to bring them down again to form parts of the denominator. So let us take x and put down here, and then let us take 3 plus x and put it down here. So this is what we do, guys, when we are looking for the common denominator. We start with what is common and we bring it down, and then we'll bring the remainders down again so that we don't repeat what is common. I hope you have understand that part on how do we find the common denominator or the lowest common denominator. Now, having the denominator well done, you need to find the numerator, which is the combined numerator. All right, how do we find the combined numerator? Okay, to find the combined numerator, what you do is very simple. I want you to listen very carefully because it cannot be clear here. The first thing, you must take the old denominator and divide it into the lowest common denominator. After that, make sure that you take the remainder and then you multiply it to the old numerator. Okay, very clear, guys. So make sure for you to get the new numerator, okay, new numerator. Now you are going to follow these stages. They're kind of, you know, long process, but I hope you will understand it better. So which one is the old denominator? Let us consider the left segment. So this part is what you call the old denominator. You need to take it and put it into the lowest common denominator. And then when it gets into the lowest common denominator, you'll be left with what you call the remainder. So you take that remainder, and then taking this remainder, I want to show you. Let us take the remainder now and put it to the what? To the numerator. That's what we do. So let us go and bring it to the numerator. That's fine. What is the remainder? 3 plus x. So we make sure that this remainder is brought to the top, multiplied by the remainder 3 plus x. All right, so this stage is done. Let me repeat. Okay, so to repeat so that you can understand, guys, we said in this question, let me remove this. All right, I just want to explain how I got this multiplication by 3 plus x. The first thing, which is odd denominator into the lowest common denominator. Let us do it together. All right, odd denominator into the common denominator. They are matching, that's why I cancelled them. Now I have got the remainder. What's the remainder? The remainder is this one that I'm putting in yellow. Okay, so for the remainder I'm done. Now I take the remainder to multiply the odd numerator. I take this remainder, it multiplies the odd numerator. Which one is the odd numerator? is this one. Then after multiplying the odd numerator by the remainder, I must get what you call the new numerator, and I'm putting it here now. Let me put it in yellow. It's x plus 4. Let me put it in bracket because it's an expression. I open a bracket again. I put 3 plus x. Okay, so this becomes the new numerator. So I hope you have understood these stages and this chain. Now what I want to do is to test whether you have understood it. Just do it. I'm putting the minus sign here so that you can do it to find also the new numerator of the left segment of our question. Can you do it now, and then we'll revise together? I'm pausing the video so that maybe you can have time to do it. Okay, I hope you guys are done. So what you're going to do now is to repeat again. All right, so I hope if you have cancelled this one, or if you were cancelling this one, next time you need to cancel using a pencil, so that when you finish with the left segment, you rub everything and then you restart the same process again. All right, so let us restart the same process together now. What you're going to do is to take this odd denominator. It must get into the lowest common denominator, which is the first part, odd denominator into lowest common denominator. But what I want you now to heed is this very special warning. Let me put it in yellow here. This special warning is that when this number, or let me put it red, okay, right. So this number or this bracket is saying 3 minus x, and it is dividing x minus 3. You still remember, by the time I was looking for the lowest common denominator, I said we are going to consider x minus 3 and 3 minus x as the same. And then I said, may you please pay attention later on, because I'm going to heed a warning that has to do with that. Now listen, this is what you call a reversal of sign. So when two brackets which are reversed or opposite, but yet subtracting, yet the values are subtracting, make sure that when you divide them, the answer is always expressed as a negative. So meaning to say here we'll have -1. Please note, let me repeat again. Whenever you divide brackets which are a reverse entry, like 3 minus x and x minus 3, these things you see, they are just a reversal of each other. All right, whenever you divide these things, do not cancel and put the answer as 1. The answer must also carry a negative sign because they are reversal. If I get a chance, I'll explain why, but for now just put that one in mind and know it for your benefit. It's a common error that many students are facing. All right, now, not to waste your time, let us move on. This means now when I get this -1, the rest of these are gone. My remaining part becomes x and -1. That's going to be my remaining part. I take it and multiply it to the odd numerator. So I'm going to take my odd numerator, I multiply this by x and -1. That's what I've done, so that I can get my new numerator. So what is going to be my new numerator? Let me write it as x minus 1 multiplied by minus x. Okay, just forgive me here. We have to let's just combine x and -1 so that we won't be having a long story there. Okay, so this is what you were supposed to have done. I hope you did it well and got it correct also. Now the next stage now, which is the third stage, is to simplify both the denominator and the numerator, but we are going to simplify the numerator because the denominator has been simplified already. So let us look at that. Okay, so simplifying the new numerator or the denominator, let's write it as it is. It's x minus 3 this side, and then 3 plus x as it is. Okay, but the numerator needs to be simplified because it has got brackets. I know that you have learned on how do we simplify brackets. Now do the simplification and then I'll just write it down for you. What's the answer then? Okay, so what I'm expecting to see here is that when you simplify, first you expand the bracket of x plus 4 and 3 plus x. Okay, if you expand that, it is supposed to give you x squared plus 7x and then plus 12. All right, so that's after simplifying this part. Okay, now there is a minus, and then let's expand this part which is x minus 1 and minus x. What do we get? Okay, we get negative x, we get negative x squared, okay, and then plus x, and then we close it. The reason why I did put these two brackets is to show you that this is the new numerator which is not simplified for the left segment, and this is also for the right segment. I didn't want you to confuse the use of this sign. Okay, so we wanted to maintain this sign independent of itself. That's why I had to put them in the manner of using those big brackets so that we will learn how do we do away with the middle sign. All right, okay, now to do away with the middle sign, we have to consider the left side as it is. It reads x squared plus 7x plus 12. Now when we take the minus sign into this bracket, it becomes expansion of brackets again. So we have minus and minus becomes now a plus x squared, and then minus and plus, it becomes now a minus x squared. Right, if you have tried this question before me, you would find out that maybe you have an error that here your x squared is a negative, and also oh sorry, this is not x squared, this is x, and your x is a positive. The main reason why you had such kind of errors is because you didn't put these brackets. So make sure that you don't omit them, so that maybe when you are applying or when you are expanding the second part of it, you will understand it better. Okay, so that means here we have this value and the denominator remains the same, x into x minus 3 and then 3 plus x. Now the last part of it is to collect like terms. As you know, after expanding brackets, now you're collecting like terms. So x squared plus x squared becomes 2x squared, 7x minus x becomes plus 6x, and then 12 has no like terms, you write it as 12, and then all this over x into x minus 3, and then x plus, oh sorry, that's 3 plus x. Okay, just forgive me on that one. So we write it as 3, okay, plus x. So we are going to put here a 3 plus x. Let's close it. All right, when you are here guys, you are done. But there is something that I would like to say. This now is in simplest form, but it might be a possibility that you can factorize the numerator and reduce this fraction to lowest terms. So lowest terms becomes the fourth stage. Okay, now the fourth stage is to reduce to lowest terms. So before you reduce to lowest terms, it is also important that you know and notice that the process of factorizing, everything comes again. So you must factorize everything again. This means what we are going to do is to factorize the numerator, which is reading 2x squared plus 6x plus 12, and the only way of factorization is to use by HCF, whereby we are taking out 2 and then we are left with x squared here plus 3x and then plus 6. Okay, we close it, and then all this over x into x minus 3. We close it and then we open it, 3 plus x. Okay, now we cannot simplify this any further because the top and the bottom can no longer be factorized. So when you come to this point, you understand that you have done the question thoroughly. So I hope, guys, you have understood it and how do we do it. If there be any questions or any mistakes that you're seeing in this question, kindly inbox me or just say something in the comment section, so that maybe we can attend to your question. If there be any topic also that you want us to attend, or any questions that you want us also to help you with, you're more than welcome to send in the comment section also, or just hit me by email, so that maybe I can also do the question to benefit the rest of the people. If there be any other thing also, like maybe you need us to be helping you with online classes or whatsoever, you want tutorials or full lessons on these topics and questions, you're more than welcome. Just also hit us on the email that's below, gracewatersacademic.tutors@gmail.com. We'll quickly respond to your email. Have a blessed day. Let's meet next time. God bless you.